Have you ever had a dream or nightmare that was so vivid that you were left with a lingering sense of fear? The mind's ability to subject us to our worst fears and uncomfortable situations is something that most people can relate to. But what do dreams and nightmares mean? In the study of neuroscience and psychology, there remains more of a mystery than a concrete explanation as to what forces drive our dreams and nightmares. It is difficult to be subjective in the study of dreams because dreams are unique to each person, as we will see in the following series of interviews. My first interviewee is Lexi. She is a 17-year-old high school student, and she has some interesting insights on dreams. Lexi, today I'm going to ask you some questions about dreams, and in particular nightmares or scary dreams. So my first question is, why do you think people have scary dreams?
I think people have scary dreams because they're like their inner fears that they don't really think about on a daily basis. They're just beneath the surface.
Okay, so thinking back on your childhood, what were some of the scary dreams or nightmares that you had?
When I was a little kid, I was afraid of the dark, so I'd have nightmares about dark places, and have nightmares about my closet, like something being in it.
Okay. Were these dreams based upon your fears then, since you said you were afraid of the dark? So they were based on your fears.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what happened when you had a scary dream as a child? For instance, did the dreams wake you up, or did you need to be comforted after a dream?
Usually when I'd have a nightmare, I'd wake up. Hopefully I'd wake up, but generally I would wake up from my nightmares, and afterwards I'd usually go to my mom's room because she would comfort me.
Okay. Now, as an adult, you're older now, do you still have scary dreams or nightmares? And if so, can you tell me a little more about them?
Yeah, I do have nightmares sometimes. Usually it happens when get too hot when I'm sleeping. I'm not sure why, but it'll make me have nightmares.
Okay. So what happens now when you have a scary dream? Do they feel the same emotionally like they did when you were a child, or are they different?
The dreams, like the nightmares, are about different things now. Still have that same fear of the dark, but they're all still just as scary.
Okay. So my final question for you, Lexi, is do you think it would be possible for a person to control their dreams so that they could limit the number of scary dreams that they may have?
I don't know, but that'd be really cool if that could actually be a thing.
Okay. Is there anything that you do now that makes your dreams, makes you not dream so much?
I don't always remember a lot of my dreams. If I'm more awake kind of in my sleep in the morning, if that makes sense, I'm more likely to remember my dreams. But to avoid nightmares, I sleep in a cold room.
Okay. Thank you, Lexi, for participating in this interview.
You're welcome.
So my second interviewee is Connor, and he is 18 years old, and he just graduated from high school this past spring. And let's get some insight from Connor on the dreams that he has. So Connor, today I'm going to ask you some questions about dreams, and in particular nightmares or scary dreams. So my first question is, why do you think we have scary dreams?
I think it's just like our imagination and just getting carried away and taking our fears and almost like our brain trying to subconsciously become more comfortable with our fears.
Okay, so thinking back on your childhood, what were some of the scary dreams or nightmares that you might have had?
I used to think for a long, long time that there was a monster under my bed that had claws or spikes on his back, and he'd stick them up through the bed to kill me, but it never happened, so I guess he wasn't there.
So were these dreams based upon anything that you may have feared as a child? What could have caused you to have a dream like that? Was there anything, or no?
No, I really don't think so. I think I was an imaginative little kid.
Okay, so can you tell me what happened when you had a scary dream like that as a child? For instance, did the dream wake you up, or did you need to be comforted, or were you able to go back to sleep?
I would wake up and take real deep breaths for a little while and just go back to sleep.
Okay. Well, now that you're an adult, have you continued to have scary dreams or nightmares? And if so, can you tell me about them?
Yes, I still have nightmares, but they're about strange things. They really don't make sense.
Okay. So what happens now when you have a scary dream? Does it feel the same emotionally as it did when you were a child, or is it different?
It makes me more anxious, and normally I can just go right back to sleep.
Okay. So my final question, Connor, is do you think it's possible for a person to control their dreams or to limit the number of scary dreams that they have?
I think so, yes. But explaining why is kind of tricky. I just think they can.
Have you done anything to limit your dreams? Is there anything in particular you personally do?
I just try not to think scary or strange thoughts right before I fall asleep.
Okay. Thank you, Connor, for participating in this interview.
You're welcome.
My final interviewee is Andrew, and he is a 26-year-old college student. Let's see what insights he has on dreams. So, Andrew, today I'm going to ask you some questions about dreams, and in particular, nightmares or scary dreams. My first question is, why do you think we have dreams or scary dreams?
I think for scary dreams, as I've thought about it before, there are two types of people that I can think about. You have the one type of people who think about scary things a lot, or they feel comfortable with the scary thought based on past experiences or just how they view things. Somebody who likes horror, or like myself, or somebody who likes scary things in general, can force themselves to have scary dreams and be comfortable with it enough to where they have them. And then there's the other type where you're not wanting to have a scary dream, but it's forced upon by, yet again, personal experiences with fear or episodes of fear.
Okay, so thinking back on your childhood, Andrew, what were some of the scary dreams or nightmares that you had?
Most of the scary dreams I had when I was a kid were probably along the lines of dreaming about werewolves and vampires, supernatural creatures, and the past. Just times before, like now, I guess, pre-Victorian era. Most of the dreams I had were around that setting, and they still are today.
Okay, so were these dreams based upon anything that you may have feared as a child?
I think some did and some weren't. Since I probably watched a lot of horror films, I'm sure that kind of influenced my dreams right after the fact. Werewolf movies, Michael Myers, all those horror flicks that can make yourself have those kind of dreams, I think had a big influence on it.
All right. Can you tell me what happened when you had a scary dream as a child? For instance, did you wake up from your dreams, or did you need to be comforted? Were you able to sleep through them?
Most of the times I would be able to sleep through them. There were some times I did wake up from them, just based on how I was feeling inside my dream while I was asleep. The only time I would wake up is if I was somehow dead in the dream, or I was killed or something, and then if I went back to sleep, it wouldn't be the same dream, it'd be something different, but along the same realm.
Okay. As an adult, have you continued to have scary dreams or nightmares? And if so, can you tell me a little bit more about them?
I think I've always continued, to this day I still have them, and I think I always will. I think I'm just comfortable with, after all the dreams I've had in the past that deal with fear and scary things in general, that it doesn't bother me anymore. There have been a few instances where I've woken up from dreams that have been a little bit too real, really vivid dreams that made me wake myself up. So I think that shows a little bit of my control of my own dreams.
Okay, so do you feel the same emotions that you had as a child when you had a scary dream, or are they different now?
I think they're different now. I think I feel more fear as a child than I do now. I think it was more or less actual fear than it is compared to today. It's not really fear, it's more interesting because I'm trying to figure out the dreams themselves, like what they mean or how they, just how they appear the way they do and how I can, explore them more.
Okay, so I have one final question for you, Andrew, and that is, do you think it's possible for a person to control their dreams or even limit the number of scary dreams that they may have?
Yeah, I think people can have full control over dreams. I've been able to control dreams myself to the point where I can force myself to awake from one if I have to. I've been able to go back to a dream, the same one, a couple times. It's a rare occasion, but picking up where I left off is hard. I think that, some people choose to have scary dreams, as I said before, and some people don't. So.
Okay. Well, Andrew, thank you for participating in this interview.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Disturbing dreams and nightmares can terrorize us in our sleep with vivid images that can feel all too real and play out our deepest fears. Although our dreams are unique to each of us, common themes can be found between individuals. What was your last dream or nightmare about?